Ireland's leading dance music station. RTE Pulse.
Tune into Max Mackin on RTE Pulse, Ireland's national dance music station. rte.ie/pulse, maxmackin.com.
Dance floor pleasures. RTE Pulse.
This week on the showcase, I'm chatting to the captain from Trouble and Bass crew. You were down in WMC Winter Music Conference down in Miami recently. You were playing at your night. How did it go?
A Tropic Terror party last Saturday at this new spot called Blackbird Ordinary.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool. It was like we had 2 rooms, indoor room, like an outdoor room. It was awesome, you know. A lot of great guests. R.B. Moore played Hubbard bass. Some of our own artists like Willie Joy.
So it was like the whole family was down there.
The whole family was there. That's how we do every year.
Looking at the flyer, like Drop the Lime, AC Slater, R.B. Moore, they're all top class names. So how did Trouble and Bass start?
Trouble and Bass started in like 2006 when Drop the Lime returned from Berlin. Kind of wanted to create a new party / DJ crew to kind of bring New York back.
Yeah.
From like the dead. So at the time it was like super electro, and no one was really playing a lot of like a mix of bass music with drum bass and hip hop and grime and dubstep. So that's what he wanted to do and that's what happened. So 2006, and then a few months later the label started. The DJ crew formed from that, and then just kind of been rolling since then.
And were you there from day one?
There was the 4 beginners were Drop the Lime, Star Eyes, and these 2 guys. Math Head and Zach Shadetek. We're both like grime. A year later, I joined because I was like always like a friend and part of the crew, and then I was added to the crew. And things happened as years went on, and now it's 4 people. Then we added AC Slater to the mix.
And how's the production going for yourself? You've got a few good tracks out at the moment.
Yeah, I started a project with a friend of mine named Bauer, and we're doing like kind of like really dark and kind of like trap music. It's called Stranger VIP.
Very nice.
It's me and him. More harder, aggressive trap music, crazy samples like black metal and good sci-fi soundtracks. So it's fun, super fun, and we're kind of waiting to drop our first like mixtape probably this year. That's
brilliant, and it's good that a lot of artists seems to be hitting on that sort of exploring the dance music with hip hop. It's really sort of like you have people like Bremar as well who's doing it really well, and the trap music like Lex Luger. It just it's not 4/4, but it still has that energy that a Congo rock track would have.
Great artists like Foster Thomas have a new EP on that decent, which is really cool. Kind of mixing electro with like dirty South beats. Yeah. Ben Mar's always been on top of that. A lot of LA dudes do it. But yeah, like Lex Luger, Meek Mill's tracks, Nick Ross tracks are all like going that like darker route of trap and dirty South.
And what's the scene like in NYC?
Oh man, everything you can imagine is here. You can go into the city, into New York City, and you can go to Pasha or some huge mega club and see, like David Guetta, and then you can go back to Brooklyn and go to like a cool underground basement party.
So when you're looking for an artist, are you looking for timing, like to see if the track is relevant, original stuff, or how do you go about judging it when an artist sends you a track, or how do you even go about looking for a new person to put on the Trouble and Bass label?
Yeah, it's definitely a mix of all that. Like, first of all, if I listen to it and I don't like it, that's the bottom line.
Right. So
if I like it but I don't think it's the right time, like you said, it can definitely be a factor of like, well, this sounds like it was made in 2007, or like this isn't that relevant anymore, or this sounds old, or maybe this is too futuristic, and maybe this isn't right for us right at the moment. But also, what comes into mind is how it relates to what we already have. And like, if someone sends a track that sounds like AC Slater, or it sounds like Zombies for Money, an artist from Portugal, then there's not really reason to have 2 of those artists on our label.
Exactly.
Which kind of makes us, stand apart a little bit.
You've got some very good artists on the label. Just looking at them now, you've got like Sleepyhead, AC Slater, Zombies for Money. What is the next? Is there any artists that are coming onto the label, or is there when is the next release as well?
So next we have a new Zombies for Money EP comes out next week, April 3rd. Then 2 weeks after that, we have a Kanji Kinetic EP. We did like the newest heavy bass champions of the World Series. but which is like more grime and kind of like, you know, bassline almost.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's super crazy. We've always liked Kanji, and we never did a release with him, so we're all kind of excited to do this one. After that, PlayStation did a release for us, which we're going to put out. I think it's a 6-song EP. Working on the new Death Face, like 8-song. I don't know if it's an EP or an album, but he is working with like this new vocalist, and he's kind of transferring his show into more of like a live performance. So and he made like another little gender single. Yeah, it's lots of cool stuff.
Big shout out to Captain for coming on the show. Much appreciated, man. Lovely talking to you. And big shout out to Funk Flex. We were having our laugh before the interview about the Funk Flex and Clue beef that's going on the New York airwaves. Very, 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 very funny stuff.
Ireland's leading dance music station. RTE Pulse.
Tune into Max Mackin on RTE Pulse, Ireland's national dance music station. rte.ie/pulse, maxmackin.com.
Dance floor pleasures. RTE Pulse.